my field of consciousness, my spirit, whatever I was in that dimension, I could feel reaching out for it too, until we did totally merge. And that's when the ecstasy started, and the rapture and the bliss. And I had no thoughts. Blocks of knowledge come into me while I was merged with the light. And one of them was, and it all came in one piece, not in discrete sentences, but just all of a piece. I knew that I was immortal, that I was eternal, that I was totally safe, that nothing could ever happen to me, that I couldn't fall off the universe or into a crack in the universe. It was just total safety and total knowledge of my eternalness. I knew that I always had existed and that I always would exist.
If you wish to return, you must see in a new light. I thought, light. You're the light. If you're the light, you might be God. Words appeared. God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all.
We are golden, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time we got to Woodstock, we were 500,000 strong, and everywhere was song and celebration. And I dreamed I saw the bombers riding shotgun in the sky, turn right in to butterflies above our nation. We are stardust, million-year-old carbon. We are golden, caught in the devil's bargain, and we got to get ourselves
spoke, and with the second pronouncement, the word was the reality, and it said, "It is not time." And with that, I was catapulted down a descending rainbow tunnel of light, and this I did indeed perceive to be a tunnel. And my soul was crying out with great, terrible anguish and grief, because I felt as if I were Eve being cast out of the Garden of Eden. I felt as if I were leaving the desire of all desires, the hope of all hopes, the love of all loves. I was being cast away down this rainbow tunnel of light, and there was a descending...
But these were not thoughts of mine. These were what was coming into me. This was what was being given to me. Another block of knowledge came in that told me that, in effect, all is well. There is a perfect plan. There is a perfect plan, and I remember this phrase, and the plan is working itself out in its perfection. And this is while I was still merged with the light. So, yeah, you do become one with it.
So what happens to you, your I, your personality in that oneness?
I was not aware of my I, the I-ness of me. As long as I was merged, I was like a receiving station. I just simply received. I received love.
And then all of a sudden, it came larger, and I folded into it. And I remember then that something holds me. I don't remember how I got there, but something is holding me because I can feel it physically around me. And it says, Mary Jo, you cannot stay.
Asked me, you know, were you a ghost? I was just the opposite. Very alive. As I'm looking around the room, I see that there's, underneath the sheet on the bed, there's something under the sheet, a body. And so I bent over the bed, the head was turned away from me, and I looked at the face, and it looked like me. But that wasn't possible because I was standing there. I'm alive, I'm great, you know. I mean, I'm more than great. I'm like, you know. And so I tried to talk to my wife.
Can't you hear me?
And,
can't you hear me?
you know, she couldn't hear me or see me.
That's not me.
I hear people calling me outside the room, and they're saying to me in soft, gentle voices, Howard, you got to come with us now. Come quickly. Come out here. So I go over to the doorway of the room, and there's people out in the hallway, and they're the hallway's dank. It's gray. It's not light or dark. It's just gray, and they're all in grayness, and they're men and women, and what they're wearing might possibly be hospital uniforms. And as we walked, they stayed around me and kept moving me on, and it kept getting darker and darker. They were becoming more and more openly hostile to me. First they were sort of syrupy sweet to get me to go with them, and then when I was going along with them, it was like, hurry up, keep moving, you know, shut up, stop asking questions, you know, they started getting more ugly. And so we get into complete darkness. I'm absolutely terrified. These people are very hostile. I don't know where I am. I said, I'm not going to go with you any further. They said, you're almost there. And we started to fight. I was trying to get away from them. They were pushing and pulling at me. And there are now a lot of them. It's real hard for me to talk about, and I'm not going to tell you much about it, just a little bit. Because it gets, it just gets too ugly. But initially they were like tearing and biting. Tearing with their fingernails, scratching, gouging, ripping, and then biting. Trying to defend myself, trying to fight them off, trying to get away from them, but it's like being in a beehive, just hundreds of them all over me. And I eventually was just laying on the ground, and even harder to bear than the physical pain was the emotional pain of what had just happened to me. The utter degradation. I heard my voice. It wasn't somebody else's voice. It wasn't the voice of God or anything. It was my voice. And I heard it speak, but I didn't speak it. So whether it's the voice of my conscience or I don't know what it was. It was just, but I distinctly heard my voice say, pray to God. And so I thought to myself, I don't believe in God. Pray to God. So I called out into the darkness, Jesus, please save me.
Please save me.
And he came. He came. First there was a tiny little speck of light in the darkness, and it very rapidly got bright. And the light became so bright that if it were in this world, it would have consumed me. It just would have fried me to a crisp. But it wasn't at all hot or dangerous there. The light just came upon me, and he reached down. He was in this light, and he reached down out of this light.